Hi, this is Kimberly. This is a synopsis and a critique of Chapter 14 of My Daddy is a Hero, How Chris Watts Went from Family Man to Family Killer by Lena Derhally. The title of this chapter is My Sexy Empanada. And to start, some people do not want to hear about my life, which surprises me because I'm a fascinating character and I'm all engaging and shit. So if someone would like to timestamp my videos, I'll be happy to pin it for those who hate me and want me to just shut the fuck up and review the book. In this whole Fotis Dulos case, I think I've just found my new asshole narcissist to rant about. What do y'all think? Have you been following it? I'm sure there is much more to come, even though he's offed himself, especially in the way of books. Books will take a while, though. There are just more and more cases coming out that are impossible to keep up with. Why can't people just behave? It is so much easier than trying to keep your lies straight and facing the potential of getting caught. Wouldn't you rather be enjoying the Super Bowl with all the good food your wife would have fixed, rather than sitting in jail trying to memorize the Bible? No matter how many scriptures you commit to memory, it will never help or change that shit you did, or your destiny. The chapter starts on August 9th. Addy had woken to another distraught message from Shanann. Only 5 days later, Addy would be speaking with Officer James of the Frederick Police Department regarding her friend's disappearance. As one may expect, I will include this conversation at the end of the video. She describes that she and Shanann were very close friends and that Shanann confided in her a lot. I might as well read a large part of this chapter, as Miss Lena's copied the text from Discovery. I'm not being all judgy and rude. It is necessary to the story, and I would have too. They're just very telling. Believe me, there is no mistake when I say something in a disapproving way. I'm not one who is mean to others for no freaking reason, or says shit that's offensive without a good cause. Shanann said, quote, "He said we're not compatible anymore. He refused to hug me after he said he will try to work it out. He said he thought another baby would fix his feelings. Said he refused couples counseling," end quote. Shanann, why didn't you just run for the damn hills when he said that shit? That was me, not Addy. Addy said, what? That doesn't sound like Chris. Did he go to the appointment? Addy asked in disbelief. Yes, but cold. Addy, I have no idea what happened. Addy said, go through his phone. Make sure there isn't some other bitch I have to kill, Addy said, maybe thinking that Chris was having an affair after all. This is total left field, Shanann said. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Shanann was watching someone that she loved turn into someone she didn't know. That is not only a red flag, it is blowing the fuck up and sending up shooting red flames. Run. Don't look back. Run like your damn pants are on fire. There will be time to sort out the particulars once you are on safe ground. Red flags are usually used to describe the situation after the fact, so pay attention to that off feeling you have. That means you are potentially dealing with a manipulative at the very least, and or possibly a psychotic or sociopathic individual. Yes, even if it is your partner, spouse, loved one, etc. Stop doubting what you know in your heart to be true. Catherine the Great was talking about asshat when she said, quote, if you won't be a good example, then you'll have to be a horrible warning. Just like a funnel cloud is a red flag or warning for the formation of a tornado. You don't know which way that path is going to take, but you get scared and your ass runs for cover, right? Chris Asshat Watts was a goddamn funnel cloud. So if you have someone like that, just run. Better safe than sorry. Shanann was taking cover in North Carolina, but that fucktard came together and brought her and the kids home. And remember, CW couldn't make it to the first ultrasound because he was running from tornadoes. Here's your sign. I just think it was another sign from the universe. Why no to counseling? Addy asked. He said he's not sitting on no damn couch saying what he just said to me to a stranger. For God's sake, who told him to say that? His mother? Nikki? "Oh, Jesus," Addie replied. "I found some in our area, and if anything, this baby and kids deserve him to go," Shanann said. "Is this his parents' influence?" Addie asked. "He refused to hold me, said he's not there. He can't. I haven't slept most of the week. My eyes burned from crying so much. I canceled gender reveal. Nikki is going to tell me today. I need happy news right now. I said to him, how is this a few months? We were so intimate in what I thought in love when I left. He said he had a lot of time to think. The baby in my belly deserves his full love either way." "I'm so sorry, honey," Addie said, at a loss for the right words. "I said, you sat here in this living room and said that you think it would be a great thing to have another baby. We talked it out a lot beforehand and we agreed to do this. You were so excited and happy," Shanann said, still in shock. "I think he will come to his senses and feel like an ass in a few months," Addie said, trying again to be reassuring. Quote, "I grabbed his hand during the ultrasound, and he didn't grab back. I cringed. He rejected sex night we arrived here. Only I can think of, even though I don't think he has it in him, is another girl," Shanann said. Miss Lena said this is a frightening example of how little Shanann really knew about Chris, and how convincing Chris was with his nice guy image. "Did you look through his phone? Did you ask if there was someone?" Addie asked again. "He said last night opposites attract, but this isn't working anymore." "I did." He denied. "No, I didn't look. He's deleting messages from his dad. I'm sure he's not that stupid." End quote. "Yes, he is, Shanann. You always gave him too much credit. I mean, I know it's embarrassing to admit this to your friend, but couldn't you see that he was simple, witless, mindless, soft-headed, oafish, unsmart, obtuse, slow, thick, and a dum-dum? There's a lot more adjectives. Feel free to add your own. Why is he deleting messages from his dad? This makes no sense, any of this. It's not Chris. He loves and adores you." "Well, he was learning how to perfect being a sneaky piece of shit from his sexy empanada. Too bad he didn't get a bad case of E. coli from chowing down on it. Ew, I just got a nasty visual. God, my eyes, make it stop, please." But you know, the symptoms of E. coli are similar to that of an oxy overdose. Please let some tainted empanadas work their way into the prison system. You know, as a special little treat. An E. coli treat. Sorry, I keep wandering off. Back to the text messages. "I don't know if I suck it up again and call his mom today, tape a call, so she can't lie and twist my words, and talk to her and tell her I want to have a relationship, but I need her to love and respect my kids," Shanann said, trying to brainstorm ideas as to what might make things better. She was desperate as one can be. She was willing to cozy up to monster-in-law again. Land sakes alive. She needed to take shelter with her parents. I was gonna say, and have Frankie Jr. go beat CW's ass, but dumbass was in monster mode at this point. That wouldn't have been a good idea. When one is desperate, this means you are in a situation that is extremely bad. It can become dangerous. You're riddled with anxiety, and you can make ill-informed decisions. Again, take heed of your emotions. I think you should tell him that if you want to work it out with them. I thought he was on your side about what happened with CC, Addie said. Exactly, Addie. No need to suck up to the in-laws just yet. But we all know that she did send the latest sonogram picture of Nico to them that they just disregarded and ignored. This is also described as blowing someone off, being a dick, not responding to someone when they desire to talk or connect with you. Nice work, assholes. Addie said, I think maybe you should tell him if you want to work it out with them. I thought he was on your side about what happened with Cece, Addie said. I did last night. I thought maybe that is the only thing that happened while I was away. I told him I've been sucking up my feelings when they throw their jabs at me for him. But when it came to putting our daughter's life in danger, I said I want to continue to have a relationship with them, but they need to love, respect, and care for him and the kids better. He is on her side with Cece. But then he said at the beach that I put a dagger between him and his dad. His dad is the one that didn't come to the party. He's the one that didn't make contact with his son, and he's the one that blocked us on Facebook, not me. It's taken everything I have to not flip on him and them, like every ounce of my body. I hear you, Shanann. Shanann and Addy wrapped up the conversation. There would be more time to talk when they met up in Arizona for the Lavelle thing over the weekend. Shanann asked Pissface if he wanted to find out the gender of the baby she was carrying, and that Chris had tried to kill with Oxy. If that is even true, I don't know what to believe between Cadle and the conundrum and the clusterfuck and continuation, asshat, and the letters and all that bullshit. I suspect it is true from the violent vomiting episode and itching and other symptoms that occurred when Shanann's body and baby rejected the poison. And the nerve of him doing that shit, not only to her, but inside her parents' house. And that part about the Oxy was my own little ditty, not Miss Lena's. The chapter goes on to tell about the infamous doll photo. The chapter reads, quote, "Shortly before noon, and perhaps the most eerie foreshadowing of all, Chris texted her a photo of the girl's life-size doll covered in a white sheet with only the feet sticking out," end quote. So this was the same day as they found out the baby's gender that evening. Miss Lena says that Shanann assumed the girls did it. She describes it looking like a body at the morgue, and I've heard a rumor, I don't know where it came from because of my CRS, which as we all know is can't remember shit, that fuckface accidentally sent it to Shanann when he actually meant to send it to his sexy Empanada. Excuse me, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. And for those that don't know, an empanada is a Spanish or Latin American pastry turnover filled with a variety of savory ingredients, baked or fried. I want one now. Fuckface spent the summer making completely self-absorbed bad decisions. He did nothing constructive, such as being a strong person who takes control of the spiraling situation that was his home and family life, besides making everyone else's life a living hell. But the author says Shanann found the doll photo humorous and posted it to Facebook. Incidentally, Shanann's Facebook has either been shut down or made private for and by the family recently. I don't blame them. I would have done that long ago. But I'll miss perusing her Facebook for upbeat posts and lovely photos of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Dieter, and having fun cropping fuckface out of them. Because I hate him to the point that he makes me so angry just looking at his face that I just want to angrily yell, "Fuck!" That's why I call him Fuckface so often. His stupid face should not be allowed to exist on this planet. But back to the doll photo. Shanann posted it to Facebook with the caption, "I don't know what to think about this," followed by hysterical laughter emojis. Shanann added, "At least they covered the body together. At least we know they have each other's back." The timestamp on the text message would suggest that Chris was at work when he sent Shanann the message on August 9th, but Discovery does not state when the photo was taken, just that it was sent to her at 11:44 the morning of August 9th, and that was the same day she posted it to Facebook. I wish it did have the date on it that asshat took it. That would be good to know and would answer many questions surrounding this mysterious photo. Was it something sinister, or was it just the kids playing? Miss Lena said, quote, he wanted to make sure anyone deciding to snoop on Facebook and look for him wouldn't find out he was presumably happily married with a baby on the way, end quote. This is Papa Ronnie's take on it, as explained to agents Lee and Coder after he just found out his pregnant daughter-in-law and his 2 granddaughters were dead. I would have been doing the ugly crying face and hyperventilating, slapping my son, and shocker, cussing like a drunken sailor. They would have had to call the paramedics for me to put me in a straitjacket and then arrest me. And he's just like, so what'd you do, haul the bodies off or something? Who the hell says something like that? Fuck out of here, man. I have no words for this family. I mean, I do, but I'm done for now. Allow me to read from the Discovery whilst I regain my composure and shit. Discovery page 604, Agent Tammy Lee from CBI's report. Quote, Ronnie explained 2 days ago Shanann posted a photograph of a 5-foot-tall baby doll. It was not 5 foot tall, sorry. A 5-foot-tall baby doll that was laying on the couch. Ronnie said the doll was completely covered with a sheet. Ronnie said, I'm thinking this might have been planned. I don't know. Ronnie said the caption read, what do you say to this? Ronnie said the sheet covered the doll's head and the only thing sticking out was the doll's feet. Ronnie said Shanann commented that Bella had put the sheet on the doll. Ronnie said a kid wouldn't do such a thing. Special Agent Coder asked Chris if he recalled the incident, and Chris said Shanann made fun of it and thought it was funny. What, did he think he was in trouble over the doll thing? Dumbass. Sorry, but I was just thinking about, do y'all remember when Ronnie was mad scrolling through his phone looking for the post, and I guess he had forgotten that he blocked Shanann on Facebook? Well, the skin doesn't slither far from the snake now, does it? I asked Chris if Bella did it, and he said he didn't know because he couldn't recall. Bullshit. Ronnie said he was around Bella, and Bella would only cover her baby dolls up to their stomach. Ronnie said he never saw Bella cover a baby doll's head like it was a body. My God. Then Miss Lena, bless her heart, goes on to quote from Cato's clusterfuck. In her defense, no one knew yet at this point that she was a lying, cheating plagiarist. Did anyone ever tell on her to Dr. Oz? Miss Lena says, quote, we now know at this point Chris's fantasies of killing his family were forming into an actual plan. In a letter to Cato, he forthrightly admits the killings had been brewing in his dark mind for weeks, end quote. So, take that shit with a grain of salt, y'all. Be all skeptical and shit, and don't interpret that clusterfuck literally. Asshat loves to lie anyway, and he found an author, make that a so-called author, to lie for him, a scribe. And back in the beginning of time when Cato was first around, she was one of the original scribes who copied documents before printing machines were invented. I hope he knows about the shit show that went on with that damn piece of shit that violates acceptable standards of behavior and publishing practices. Please note, piece of shit applies to both the book and the useless person spewing crap and bullshit, double-dealing trickster fraud that piece that shit together. There's an empty notebook that someone is selling on Amazon with the same cover. That is a better value for your money. So have you got that in the mail instead? Yes, count your blessings. When I checked today, it has finally been taken off of Amazon. I can't bother to see if it's for sale anywhere else. Sorry, I veered off again. Back to the chapter. So this was a busy day. Dunder had deleted his Facebook. He said later it was because he's a chicken shit, and that it was because sexy salmonella-ridden Empanada told some of her friends about him, and he freaked out. He panicked that they would find out he's a lying, cheating piece of shit and that Shanann was pregnant. How are you gonna hide the baby when it got here? And sexy Empanada would be all like, whose fucking baby are you holding? feeling. Like, why are there like so many car seats like in the back of like the car? And is this like a bottle warmer? You know, when she went to go like plug in her cell phone? Like shit like that when y'all would sneak off together. When Papa Ronnie asked Asshat if he squashed his Facebook, he said, "Yes, sir, finally liberated myself." You should have liberated your pregnant wife and children, gone to the store and never came back. Page 16 of the February 22nd, 2018 Wisconsin interview states, quote, he deleted his Facebook account on August 8th, 2018, after Kessinger told him she told her friends about him. He was afraid Kessinger's friends would try to look him up on Facebook and would see that his wife is pregnant. Back to August 8th, Asshat threw Shanann a bone by giving her a meaningless peck that she called a kiss. My heart hurts for her. It's completely awful when your spouse is being an ass. But this is more than that. He was doing a slow torture on her. A total mind fuck. The fuckface agreed to the Aspen trip. How come there was money for a weekend getaway and a 4D ultrasound and to go out on dates and shit, but not to get medical care for Shanann while they were in North Carolina because it was, quote, out of network? I'm willing to bet if she had called her insurance company, they could have told her somewhere to go. Shanann ordered the book Hold Me Tight for Doofus to read. However, he promptly threw it in the trash. Discovery states Shanann received a text that it would be delivered on August 10th, the next day. He agreed to go with her to take Bella to kindergarten on Monday, and we know that shit never happened. I was hoping they would have an extra seat for Chris and shit. He needed a redo. He needed to go back to where you learn by playing, how to be nice, not to cheat, and respect adults. And it seems he needed some more social interaction with children that were on his intellectual level. I'm sorry, that was insulting to children. I take it back. Shanann thought Dunderhead was finally coming around. Well, until she saw that credit card charge for Lazy Dog. But Miss Lena says he was starting to be agreeable a little bit because he knew he wouldn't have to do it much longer. He was just full of empty promises for his wife, even more so than usual. He was DUN done with her, but not done fucking with her. He just did not give a shit any longer. He gave zero fucks about any future events or consequences. Well, we now know that's how one's dumbass winds up in prison for the rest of their useless and destroyed beyond repair, pathetic and meaningless life. That evening they opened the envelope containing the sex of the baby. As we know, the baby was a boy and Shanann wanted to name him Nico Lee. Chris and shit asked her to hold off on blasting it all over Facebook, to please wait until Monday because he knew that she would never get that chance. Stupid asshole. He was on a roll. He said yes to counseling and that he would read the book. Hell, why didn't he suggest remodeling the house and a trip to Paris while he was at it? Fucktard. They talked about selling the house and moving to somewhere less expensive. At least they were addressing the financial woes a little bit. Well, Shanann was. He was just playing his role, having fun with it, assuming his fucked up plan was gonna work. Shanann told him she loved his stupid ass, and he mimicked it back to her. He gave her a little kiss and then went to sleep in the basement, no doubt desexed with his sexy Empanada. He also transferred more semi-nude selfies into his stupid calculator app. What a dumb asshole. Which, as one would expect, means that not only is he stupid, but also rude, offensively impolite, and ill-mannered, and so on and so forth, and what have you. The next day, August 10th, 2018, Shanann left for her final trip with Lavelle to Arizona. Discovery states that at 1:44 p.m., Shanann asked Watts, "Why did you cancel your Facebook account?" He ignored the hell out of her. He did not respond. Why didn't he just spit out some more lies and tell her what she wanted to hear? Some dumb shit like, "Oh, maybe so I could focus on our marriage." Also in Discovery was at 6:20 that morning, missing from Watt's phone but found in Shanann's. She told Dunderhead, "Good morning, honey." Sorry to make you wake up early twice today. We didn't want the alarm going off. We are checked in and everything. It's already a madhouse here today. Enjoy the girls. Don't forget King Supers from 10 to 11. I told Bella I was leaving for work with Nikki and assured her I was always coming home. They usually don't eat right away lately. Give them lots of kisses for me. Thank you for everything last night. I miss and love you so much. I'm still in shock that we're having a little boy. I'm so excited and happy. I really thought it was another girl. Thank you for letting me hold you this morning. It felt good. Your letter is on the counter. Have a great time with the kiddos. They truly missed you. Love you, baby. Send me pics. End quote. Meanwhile, Chris and Shit transferred more naughty pictures into that damn app. Oh, and it was their wedding anniversary. Could it get any more distressing? I wonder what Chris and Shit's life would have been like if he had received enough oxygen at birth. The chapter contains the text Shanann sent to Pinhead that morning. She also left a nice handwritten letter to him on the kitchen counter. Bless her heart. She was in overdrive trying to save her marriage. I wonder if he even read the letter. It would be interesting to know what happened to it. It probably ended up in the trash with the book on top of it. Shanann took a photo of the letter and sent it to her friend Sarah. The letter reads, "My dearest Chris, I don't know where to begin. I'm so lost for words. I can't even explain how hard the pain is. The last 5 weeks have been the hardest. I missed everything about you. I missed your morning breath, your touch, your lips. I missed holding you. I missed smelling you in the sheets." Oh God, I can't finish reading this shit. I'll let y'all read it. Shanann texted Chris and Shit to tell him she landed safely in Arizona, but Dunderhead was lining up a babysitter for Saturday night. Jeremy Lindstrom texted Jackass to tell him congrats on it being a boy. Wait, I thought they weren't telling anyone just yet. But CW blew off that text and asked him if his teenage daughter McKenna, Mary, as she is called in the book, could babysit so he could go out with his sexy Empanada and have sexual relations, both before and after dinner. So he arranged for the sitter to come over at 6:15 the next evening. That's just 15 minutes before their bedtime, isn't it? But it turns out he was all giving and shit, allowed them to stay up until 7. Vart had claimed he would be back at 10 p.m. Yeah, right. So with sitter arrangements made, he packed up Belle and Cece to ride. Oh hell, just let me read from Discovery. I'm tired of thinking up shit to say. Discovery page 475 says, McCoy said he saw Watts on Friday, August 10th, 2018. McCoy said Watts told him Watts took Friday off of work to take his wife Shanann Watts to the airport for her business trip to Arizona. Well, no, Nikki picked her up, actually. But if you'll recall, I played this interview in one of the videos a couple of weeks back. So, if Troy McCoy sounds familiar, that's why. Yeah, I know I'm taking forever with this book. In addition to being a procrastinator, I'm just slow as molasses. Not to be confused with Chris and Shit slow. I move slow. He is just a dumb box of rocks slow. He's a crybaby, lowlife, boorish swine, coarse, brain-dead skunk, rude shit for brains, troll-faced, bearish prick, savage piece of chick, swamp, armpit, puke, snot-nosed brat, and shit, leech, rough mama's boy, discourteous, bug trumpet, booger eater, knuckle-dragger, shit stick, numbskull, rattlesnake, regurgitated porcupine, wildebeest, pendeco, turd tapper, wacko, asshammer, psycho, animal turd, smell fungus, half-wet, bitch, douche, waste of a human being, constipated, crackpot, cupcake face, snobhead, shit-stained dick breath, white wobble, twerp, ass licker, shit sniffer, zit face, echo brain, canyon, uncivil, impolite, cock-nose, shitbag, buzzsaw, dummy, egghead, dead skunk, kick a rock, go to blazes, poo-poo head, doorknob, eat shit and die. McCoy said he met Watts in the Safeway parking lot in Fort Lumpton at about 3:05 p.m. to receive Watts's Amazon Fire Stick for his television. McCoy said Watts showed up driving Shanann's white Lexus sports utility vehicle, SUV. McCoy said he was able to see Bella and Celeste in the back seat of the SUV. McCoy said he could see both children were buckled into their car seats. McCoy said he waved to Bella and Celeste, and he could hear them laughing. McCoy said he knows Bella and Celeste from past contacts with the Watts family. McCoy said as he was talking to Watts in the Safeway parking lot, McCoy received a phone call from Cody Roberts, another Anadarko employee. Roberts told McCoy there was a leak in the bypass line on the oil well at Survey 319. McCoy said this leak was small enough that it could wait until Monday to be fixed. I would think any leak would need to have immediate attention, but that's just me. Back to Discovery. McCoy said Watts overheard part of his conversation with Roberts, and Watts volunteered to go out to Survey 319 first thing on Monday, August 13th, 2018 to fix the leak. Wow, isn't that convenient? How many of you think, well, does any of this seem, I don't know, suspicious? Dubious? This seems kinda a bit iffy to me. Please share your thoughts in the comments. This has just always struck me as odd. This whole meeting up with the leak and the fire stick and the phone call at just the right time, yada yada yada. When Chris and the girls were back home, Ronnie asked Chris if he could FaceTime with the girls. Chris told him hell no. He's afraid Bella would tell on him. Papa Ronnie agreed and said he didn't want any more drama. Drama? Was Shanann one to cause drama out of nothing? I checked Discovery and Papa Ronnie suggested that Shanann would, quote, have a fit. Well, even if she did have a, quote, fit, it is caused by an act of stupidity or neglect. It makes one have a spontaneous outburst of anger out of sheer frustration. People that are stupid do not understand things, they don't learn from past experiences, and generally just don't use their fucking brain. These kind of people might cause one to, quote, have a fit, as Papa Ronnie said so eloquently. Well, I happen to find this in Discovery. What Josh Rosenberg, Cassie's husband, said about Shanann. Quote, I asked about Shanann's mental health. Josh described her as being a normal woman emotionally. She was loving, open, good, kind, transparent, a giver, a great host, passionate, even keel, extraordinary, loved to make people happy, would not get mad, tried to work problems out, not over-exaggerated, no drama, end quote. You too can look this up on Discovery page 705. But getting back to that Friday night, when Shanann got in bed, she searched Groupon for a good deal for their Aspen trip the following weekend. Asshat texted his girlfriend, quote, hope you had a great night, beautiful. Miss you. Get home safe. Sweet dreams, my sexy empanada. Ugh. Gross. Where did he hear that shit from? You know what, Chris? If you were no longer happy with your married and family life, you could have just fucked off. Boom, problem solved. The next day, Shanann texted Dum Dum bright and early. Good morning, baby. Are the girls up? Good morning. They are watching cartoons in bed. She told Asshammer about the intense thunderstorms the previous night. Shanann asked if he wanted the NFL package for the fall. Chris told her he was going out for the evening and that the Lindstrom's daughter would be babysitting. Shanann asked that he lock her office and to make sure she understood that Cece has certain things she is unable to eat due to her allergies. That evening, Chris and Chip got ready for his hot and heavy date and ordered pizza for the girls. Yeah, everyone, let's carry on as though we aren't about to run out of money. He gave the girls their medication and told the sitter to put the girls to bed at 7 o'clock. Fuckface gave her the baby monitor before leaving. He lied and said he would be back at 10 p.m., but we all know he was late, and Mrs. Lindstrom was waiting in the car at that time for her daughter, her minor daughter, but he and Nikki had to go back to her place and get in one more round of sexual aerobics to end their perfect evening. Shanann texted the sitter and told her if she needed anything just to ask. She informed Shanann that Cece had 3 slices of pizza. Did it seem to anyone else that these girls were always really, really hungry? But eating that much must be why she fell asleep so easily. Kinda like me with my order in hibachi and M&M's overindulgence fest last weekend. Quote, Chris drove to Nikki's apartment first. When he got there, they drove to the Lazy Dog restaurant and bar for dinner. Nikki looked at the menu and realized it wasn't the same menu as the Lazy Dog she usually went to. She told Chris she wanted to leave and go to the other one, and he obliged. After all, Chris was always the easygoing one, end quote. What the fuck, is Nikki dead from the neck up too? How did she not realize it's not the same lazy dog as she normally went to? That makes no freaking sense. But none of this shit does. I must be misunderstanding this. And like her stupid boyfriend, this was like a fairly typical thought process for them, for Craigie. But anyway, it is said they discussed Chris's fitness plan and healthy lifestyle, exercise and clean eating. Well, yes, I do know he was very focused on getting his unfeeling heart rate up each time he was with his sexy Empanada. They had their own workout routine. Chris and Chap boldly used a joint credit card to pay for his date, rather than the gift cards he had been using. Miss Lena says he knew he would no longer have Shanann to deal with, and he could be careless if he wanted to, end quote. After dinner, they went back to her place for round 2. He was rushing home when Shanann called him. Ruh-roh. Shanann wanted to know what the fuck he ordered at Lazy Dog that cost $62 goddamn dollars. He claimed he only had salmon and beer, so Shanann went into detective mode after she hung up on him. After they ended the call. Miss Lena says, quote, she was easily able to deduce that the meal did not amount to $62, end quote. So, Asshat got home late, drove past Mary's patiently waiting mother, paid the sitter, and told her he and the kids would see her the next day at her little brother's birthday party. He called Shanann before going to bed. Meanwhile, back at the love pad, the sexy Empanada was blowing up her search engine, probing deep into the interwebs for Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, Paparani Watts, and 2825 Saratoga Trail. Well, isn't that peculiar? What the hell was behind all of this investigative work she was doing? The one that baffles me the most is Paparani. I do know that it is said she called him on the Tuesday and told him to get his ass out to Colorado and save Dunderhead from himself, but we all know that mission was a failure. It seems like the inability to perform a normal function is a family trait. And that ends the chapter. Please stay tuned for the audio interview of Shanann's friend and Thrive cohort, Addy, as well as the audio interview with the babysitter, McKenna/Mary. Naturally, I've cleaned up the audio so it's not so long and tedious. McKenna really is such a sweetheart, very bright, cooperative, helpful, and articulate. But be advised, it cuts off rather abruptly out of the middle of nowhere. I think it may have been because they were getting to a point in the video that had sensitive information, but sensitive to a minor, something like that. But if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for listening to me drone on and on. I know that had to be painful as shit. I will pick up with chapter 15 in the next video. Thank you for listening.
Hello?
Hi, Addy. It's Officer James.
Hi.
Hi. So I was just calling to see if there's any information you can provide me that you think would be beneficial.
What I know, Shanann and I are really close friends, so she's confided in me a lot that things have been not so good between her and Chris.
Okay.
Last night night before last, it's all blurring to me because we've been traveling and I'm in different time zones.
Right.
So forgive me, but it was I think Sunday evening, she shared that she was concerned and she thought he might.
I'm sorry, your phone's breaking up.
Okay, sorry about that. She expressed on Sunday night that she was concerned that he was having an affair.
Okay. Was this just to you that she told you that to?
Me and Nikki and Cindy was there also. And we all kind of thought, no, there's no way that Chris would do that. They seemed like just such a perfect couple. But I also knew over the past couple of weeks, she's been really just trying to save her marriage because he's been saying things like he didn't want the baby. She had canceled their their gender reveal party. They were, getting a lot of friends together to reveal the gender of the baby, and she canceled that because he was just not there, just was not wanting this baby. I mean, these are all just red flags for me right now.
She told you this personally?
I'm sorry?
She told you this personally?
Yes.
Okay, so I know that all you girls have been talking, so
Okay.
if you heard it from someone else, just kind of clue me into that so I don't write down in my report that she told you when in fact, does that make sense? That she told you when someone else made sense?
Hearsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of what she told me, we were in a group this weekend.
Okay.
We were all together in Arizona.
Right.
So we were in Cindy, it was Kathy, Cindy, Nikki, and I were all together.
Makes sense.
So there's a lot of things that I told Sam. I'm trying to think who you've spoken to. So Sam and Christina.
Yeah, Sam, Christina, Cindy, trying to think who else.
Yeah, she was getting to the point where she hadn't really told anybody except for me and Nikki and Kathy prior to this weekend. And then this weekend she shared with Cindy. And Sam wasn't there. Cindy and I clued Sam in on what was going on.
When did she tell you that they're started having struggles with their marriage?
This was about 2 weeks ago. If you have her phone, our entire conversation, I mean, we have a huge text ring about it. If you have her phone, you can pretty much see everything that she told me. I mean, there were things that we talked about one-on-one too, but pretty much everything is in the messages.
So when you guys would communicate, was it usually through text messages or over the phone?
Text messages mostly, and over the phone, and then we saw each other this weekend in person.
Okay. Did she tell you anything in person that she didn't tell you over to text messages?
Let me think. Yeah, about him cheating. This was on Sunday night. My flight got canceled, so we ended up being there an extra night in Arizona. We went out to dinner, and as soon as she walked in to meet me, she just looked very sad, and she said, "All right, tell me what you think of this." She said he went to the baseball game with friends.
Was that the Rockies game?
Told her the Rockies game, yeah.
So Chris told her he went to the Rockies?
Correct, with friends, a group of guys.
Okay.
And then he was out late, and she knew this because she was communicating with the babysitter that had hired to go out while, she was away. So she was checking in with the babysitter, so she knew his timeline and when he got home and everything. So what he told her was that he went to eat. He went to get something to eat after, and he said he specifically told her that he had a beer and a salmon dinner. But the bill was $62. And she thought that was a little suspicious. So she asked us what we thought. Did we think that salmon dinner and a beer could have been $62, or was he with somebody?
And she saw that on their bank accounts?
I'm sorry?
She saw that on their bank statement?
No, he actually told her what he spent. And, I think they just communicate like that about money because she handles everything in the money. Because that's what I was like, why? They said, well, it's kind of weird that he would just tell you exactly what he bought. And she's like, no, he does that all the time. Like, I kind of thought he was maybe justifying what he had, trying to cover up something. And she said, no, it's not unusual for him to tell me because she just handles all the money and they're, trying to watch their spending is how she explained it to Nikki and I. And I said, well, again, maybe he bought one of the guys in a beer because, yeah, that $62 seems a little high for salmon and a beer. So maybe he bought somebody something. But she thought she was suspicious that he was out with somebody.
Okay.
Up until then, she's been like, we've all been like, there's no way. She said, because if you look through the text messages, when she first started telling me this, I was like, when she first started telling me about him not wanting the baby and him being weird to her and something's wrong, she couldn't figure it out. He wouldn't tell her what was going on except for, it's nothing that you did, it's me. And I said, you go through his phone. Like, go through his phone and see if he's talking to somebody. And she said he's been deleting messages. She said he was deleting. She told me through a text that he was even deleting text messages with his dad because she had a falling out with his parents.
While she was in North Carolina?
Yes.
What was the falling out about?
The falling out was about she was out there visiting for 4 weeks. Both of their families are in North Carolina. She went and took the 2 kids out there, and Chris stayed home in Colorado. There was an issue with her youngest daughter has a severe tree nut allergy, and Chris's mom essentially exposed her to the tree nut allergy. Nothing happened, but she was very upset that she had put her in the position where, she could have, it was pistachio ice cream. And because Chris's mother gave one of the cousins pistachio ice cream, and Cece was crying for it because she wanted it too. And they had a falling out over that because Shanann felt that she should have chosen another flavor of ice cream to bring home to the house to feed these kids.
So Shanann had a falling out with mom or dad?
Well, that was with mom. She loved Chris's dad, but I think the whole thing just escalated to both of Chris's parents just being upset with Shanann. And they didn't come to Cece's birthday party.
Which was in North Carolina?
Which was in North Carolina. Shanann threw a birthday party, and Chris's parents did not come because they were upset with Shanann. And they also unfriended them on Facebook, both of them, Chris and Shanann, and I think Chris was upset, and I don't know this for a fact. These are all things I was like, well, maybe he's upset with you because of the falling out with your parents, and she said that he did feel that she caused the problem between him and his dad is his hero.
Dad is Chris's hero?
Yes.
And Chris felt Shanann caused the problem?
I believe so, yeah. That's what Shanann felt.
Shanann felt Chris thought?
Yes. Shanann felt that Chris felt that Shanann caused the problem between his dad. He specifically said his dad, but really, both of his parents, but he's closer with his dad. I think he and his mom, had some issues along the way too, but he was always close with his dad. And then Chris deleted his Facebook last Thursday.
Were you friends with him on Facebook?
Yes. And the way I know that he deleted his Facebook is because she texted me on last Thursday, and said that she had suggested that they do a weekend together to help to, center and work on things. And he said no at first, but then when they found out that the baby was a boy, he seemed to come around a little bit, because she told me that he told her the only reason he wanted to get pregnant is because he really wanted a boy. When they ended up finding out it was a boy, he seemed like he was opening up with her a little bit. Things were getting a little bit better, so they were going to go away on a weekend together. So I remember her texting me and saying, one minute he's saying we're going to go on the weekend away together. The next minute he's shutting down his Facebook. And I didn't ask this. I wish I would have, but I was kind of thinking, well, what's the correlation in that? But I think what she meant was, 1 minute he seems to be normal Chris, and then the next minute he's shutting down his Facebook, which is a strange thing to do, particularly in our business. Our social media is a huge part of what we do, and Chris is a part of that as well.
As far as her business goes?
Yeah. So it's a very strange thing to go off of. It might not seem that way, to some people, but just because of how relevant Facebook and social media is to our business. So when I said, well, why did he delete Facebook? She said he just said he needed a break from it, which is, it's not the strangest thing, but he's never done that before. I've been friends with them for about 3 years.
And you know her through her business? Is that how you guys met?
Yeah, we met. She's part of my team in our company, and we've become really close friends. We've been on multiple trips together with her and Chris. Hearing that he had been acting this way and that things were not good between them was a huge, huge shock to me 2 weeks ago when she shared that, because they just seemed like the perfect couple, and it seemed that he adored her. But the things that he was saying, like he didn't want the baby, and that he said to her that they just don't communicate well anymore, and that it wasn't really anything specific that she did, because we were trying to figure out, because she's a really, really hard worker, and we thought maybe it was because she was giving more attention to our business than to the relationship, and we thought maybe that was it, and he said, no, it's not that. But he wouldn't say what it was. She couldn't get it out of him.
Chris wouldn't tell her what was wrong with the relationship?
As far as what she told me, that's right. She definitely she was very anxious to get home, because she really wanted to get home and see how he was doing, because before she left for Arizona was when he started to come around a little and seemed like maybe he was willing to work things out. And she told him that she didn't want to go to Arizona. She wanted to stay home and work things out with him. And he said, no, just go, because she had the kid by herself for 6 weeks. So he said, go ahead and get away. Plus, it was a business training too, but, it was just something he was saying, go ahead and go and enjoy yourself in the training, and we'll talk when you get back. So she was really anxious to get back when all the bad weather was happening with the flights and everything. She was super nervous that she wasn't going to get back to be able to talk with him and work things out. and she was looking forward to this coming weekend when they were supposed to go away.
Do you know where they're going to go?
I don't think she ever specifically told me where they were going, and if she did, I just don't remember. She may have told one of the other girls.
Okay. Did she say what they're going to do with the kids?
I believe Nikki was going to watch the kids.
Okay. Is there anything?
I'm not 100% on that.
Okay. Is there anything else that stands out to you that you think I should know about?
I mean, that's the major stuff. Is there anything that do you guys have any idea what could have happened to her?
As of right now, we don't.
It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I know what's really relevant. She never would have left the kids' car seat, the kids, Cece's medicine that she takes every day. She would never have gone off without it, or her phone. But the phone, maybe she needed to disconnect from the world. You could say that, but she would never, ever take those kids without everything that they needed. She's the best mom that I know. She's literally the most organized. If you were in her house, if you were in there, you know what I'm talking about. The most organized, planning, everything. There's no way that she would not have taken the car seat, the medicine, and packed for them if she just was trying to get away.
Okay.
Because I think that's what the other. I don't know what the different possibilities are, but one would be that she just left, and that I just can't see that being anything that she would do, because I'm sure you can tell how many people love her, but I don't think I know that she wouldn't leave the children's thing. I just know. There's no way. Best mom.
Okay.
Best freaking mom. And he's always been a great dad. Like, this is why it's just so alarming. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I just hope that we find her.
Well, we're doing everything we can to locate her.
Okay, so has she officially been, I know that there was the talk of it needs to be 24 hours of being missing. Are we past that and actually filing a missing person?
So we've been investigating it since we got the call.
Uh-huh.
So, and we're going to continue to investigate it. So the 24 hours is kind of irrelevant because we are investigating it.
Okay.
We're just trying to track down. You have no idea where she may go to?
No, because the only place that the only person that she really confided in that lives there. I live in Maryland. The only person that's local that she confided in that I know of is Nikki.
Okay.
So Nikki was the one that dropped her off from the airport. So if she was needing to get out, she wouldn't call anybody else at 2, 3, 4 in the morning other than Nikki, because Nikki's already up.
Right.
So and other than that, I mean, I don't know where she would go.
Do you know if she had a lot of
character?
Do you know if she has a lot of friends outside of your guys' business here?
She does not. She has. The thing about it is, they've lived in Colorado for a while, but not super long time to where they've created a lot of friends. So most of the people that she is friends with has been through our business.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how long they've lived in Colorado. They're definitely not new to Colorado or anything, but I know when we were planning, she and I planned a big event there for our company, and I remember her saying, I just don't have a lot of people here. Her people are back in North Carolina, where she's, originally from. She knows people through the school. She's got a friend, Empanada, who used to be the director at the kids' school. She's friends. She does a lot of play dates with different moms, but it's not close friendship. It's just, play dates and that kind of thing. And then there's another friend, Karen. Karen actually was with us in Arizona too, but she's not one of our close friends. So we didn't really talk about we didn't talk about the Chris situation at all with Karen, because she didn't know.
Okay. She lives in Colorado too.
I'm sorry, in Arizona with us. But yes, Karen lives in Colorado. But no close friendship. Christina is one of Shanann's best friends, but she lives in Hawaii.
Okay. If you hear from Shanann at all, try and figure out where she's at. Let her know that we're looking for her and for her to call us and that she's not in any trouble or anything. And if you do hear from her, I want you to call us as well. You can just call that number that you've been calling that we're playing phone tag on, that dispatch number.
Yep, of course,
you can just call that, because that number is answered 24/7.
Okay.
So just continue to call that number with any information.
Okay.
If anything else comes to mind, give us a call.
something does come to mind. Chris told me that the neighbor has a security camera that is pointed like to their house.
Okay.
So that security camera, Chris had said that they, I don't know who he meant by they, I don't know if he meant you guys or he and the neighbor, but he said that there was no sign of her coming or going per that video surveillance. So there could be, something that's on there that's definitely important and relevant if you don't have that already.
Okay. All right. If you can think of anything else, just give us a call. Okay.
Thank you so much for being on top of this.
Yep.
If you need anything, give me a call.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, Addie, spell
Yeah.
your last name for me.
It's Molony, Molony.
Okie dokie. I appreciate it. And this is your cell phone number, right?
This is my cell.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So just so the recording knows, your dad is Jeremy?
Yes.
And Jeremy knows you're talking with me right now?
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking about Chris and Shanann Watts, some responsibilities you might have had for babysitting their children.
Yes.
So how long have you known Chris and Shanann?
My dad used to work with them, and I think I got to meet them when I was around 6 or 7 years old.
So Jeremy is your dad?
Yes.
And who did he work with?
He worked with both of them. They both worked at Longmont Ford. Shanann was a salesperson, and Chris was a mechanic.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
I would say probably in 2013 or 14-ish is when they all worked there at the same time.
What did your dad do there?
He was an internet manager.
Does your dad still work at?
No, he works at Siltahar Motors now.
Works at Siltahar? Okay, down in Boulder.
Yeah.
And do you know what Chris and Shanann do now?
Yes, Shanann advertises this thing called Thrive, which is a patchy word that gives you like energy boosts, I guess. And then Chris does the oil company where they drill in the ground to find oil. I think it's called Anadarko.
Anadarko,
Yeah.
so he works there?
Yes.
And Shanann, Shanann, mainly work from home?
Yes.
Or does she travel, or?
She travels for business when they have like conventions and stuff, and she posts on Facebook, and I think she advertises, and that's what her job is, to advertise for Thrive.
So she's an advertiser, and he works in the oil industry. And so you think you've known them since 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
You babysit for them not on a regular basis or on a regular basis?
Not on a regular basis.
So how many times have you babysat for them?
Just once.
Once. And when was that?
Saturday night.
Okay, so today is the 14th, Monday is the 13th, Sunday is the 12th.
So the 11th.
So the 11th?
Yes.
Okay, so you babysat for them on Saturday. What time did you start babysitting?
4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m.?
Yeah.
And who asked you to babysit?
Chris had contacted my dad
On what day?
on Friday.
Do you know what time?
No, I do not know.
And he asked,
He asked if I could babysit their kids while he went to the Rockies game and Shanann was out of town.
do you know who he was going to the Rockies game with?
He said something about how it was with his work or something from his work, because my dad was going to the Broncos game that night, and my dad had invited him to go to the Broncos game because he had an extra ticket, and he said he couldn't because this is something from work.
So friends or something from work.
Yeah.
So how did you get to his house? Did you babysit there or did he come here?
I went there, my mom dropped me off.
And that was on Saturday.
Yes.
Your mom, what's your mom's name?
Jennifer.
Lindstrom?
Yes.
Do you know your mom's birthday?
July 1st, 1981.
It's awesome to know your mom's birthday. So Saturday your mom drops you off. What time?
4:30.
Was anybody at the house?
Chris and his 2 daughters.
Okay. What are his daughters' names?
Celeste and Bella.
How old's Celeste?
She's 3 and Bella is 4.
Anybody else at the house besides those 3?
No.
So tell me what happens. Your mom drops you off. Does your mom come in with you?
No.
You just get out
Yeah.
and go in by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a cell phone?
I do.
What's your number and your address is? So you go into the house. Chris, Celeste, and Bella are there? All right. And does Chris tell you what he wants you to do, or
Yeah.
tell me what Chris tells you? And you said, sorry, let me back up real quick. Shanann was not home. She was somewhere else.
Yes.
Where was she?
Arizona for her work.
And Chris told you that?
Yes, and I had seen posts on Facebook because I'm friends with Shanann on
Okay,
Facebook.
so you knew.
Yeah.
But Chris told you the same.
Yes.
Okay. So just tell me your conversation with Chris when you show up.
I walked in and then he asked what kind of pizza I liked because he was going to order me and the girls pizza for dinner. So he got on the phone and ordered them pizza. He gave them their medicine before he left because he didn't want me to have to worry about that. And they were already in their pajamas, and he said I just have to play with them. And then and at 7 o'clock lay them down to go to bed. And he
told you to put them down at 7 p.m.?
Yes. And he just showed me where their cameras were for their rooms and showed me how to...
What kind of camera?
They were like installed on the wall, and there was like this little mini thing I could watch to make sure they were okay in their beds.
So like a little television you were watching and you could see the kids?
Yeah, it was like a handheld, and it switched back from each room.
Okay, was that part of their video surveillance or was it separate?
I think it was separate. And then...
Do you know if that recorded or was it just live?
I think it was just live.
Okay.
And then he gave me a cell phone number just in case I needed anything.
Do you remember what that is?
No, it was on the counter and I didn't need it. And then Shanann was texting me and she was like, "Are the girls okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're fine."
So Shanann knew you were there?
Yes, she called me.
Did Chris ever text you?
No.
So Shanann knew you were there because Chris told her,
Yeah.
or did you tell her?
I think Chris told her.
So how did Chris leave the house? So did he run you through these instructions? Do you recall what the girls were wearing?
Yes, they were wearing 2 nightgowns, and actually a police officer came over today and they had pictures and they told me to pick out which ones they were wearing.
So they went through that with you. And can you just describe them, what they were wearing, remember?
They were 2 nightgowns, and I think one was blue, and they just had like little kid like stars and hearts and sparkles and stuff on them.
Okay.
And I think the other one was like a peach color.
Okay. Remember what was on that one?
What's that?
Do you remember what was on?
They were kind of similar. It's still like the stars and the hearts. And
Okay.
I have a
Remember
picture of what Cece was wearing.
Did you take a picture of her that night?
Chris took the picture, I'm pretty sure.
On your phone?
No, he posted it on Facebook, or Shanann posted it because he was sending them pictures of the girls when she was checking in on them.
Tell me how somebody got a picture of the girls that night.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's taken on Chris's phone, and then I'm guessing he sent it to her, and then she had posted it on Facebook, so that's how I saw it.
Prior to him leaving for the game?
I can check when she posted it.
Okay.
Because I noticed that was the same exact thing she was wearing when I came over to watch them. Yeah, she posted it on Saturday at 10:30 at night, and that's the night I babysat.
Can I see that picture?
Yes. That's the youngest one, Celeste, but she goes by Cece too.
You don't mind if I take a picture of you?
Go ahead. Is it bad lighting? Okay.
So she posted that Saturday, and that's the clothing that Celeste was wearing the night that you babysat for them. So do you think that's prior? What time did you babysit? You got there at 4:30? What time did you leave?
Around 10:30.
Were the kids sleeping?
Yes. So I'm guessing that was before I came because it's light.
Just making some notes, just a second. So you did not send that picture to Shanann?
Mm-mm.
Chris must have.
Yes.
Do you remember what Chris was wearing when he left?
A white t-shirt and darkish, almost black jeans.
Do you remember if the t-shirt had anything on it?
No, I think it was plain.
Do you remember his shoes?
No.
Was he wearing a jacket, anything else?
Mm-mm.
Does he wear glasses?
Yeah, he usually doesn't, but when he left, I'm pretty sure he was wearing his glasses.
Like reading glasses or sunglasses?
Reading glasses.
And he left you a phone number to reach him?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that, again, you said it was just written down on the counter? It was written on a note?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who he left with?
No.
Did you see the vehicle or the car that he left in?
No, he told me to go distract the kids while he left so they didn't get upset that he was leaving.
Did you hear a car?
No.
Did he take his own truck, or do you think he left with somebody?
I'm not sure because his work truck was parked in front of the house, and I never looked in the garage or anything to see if any vehicles
Did the work truck ever leave?
No.
What's his work truck look like?
It's big and brown, and it has like a bunch of mechanical stuff on the back of it. It looks like for the oil field.
Does it have any markings on it?
No.
Does it say the name of the business?
No, it's blank. Because I remember the girls kept pointing it out because they're like, "That's my daddy's truck."
So the girls are 3 and 4, but do they talk with you a lot?
Yes, they're very
They're
talkative.
very talkative?
Yeah.
Okay. So did they tell you anything that was happening? Was there anything that was concerning that you heard?
Bella she sat by me and she was really concerned. Her little sister fell asleep before her, so she sat on the couch with me for a while, and she actually told me something. She's like, "Can I ask you something?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "My little sister has, like, she told me if she eats coconut, she'll never be able to see her again." So I'm guessing that the littlest one has a severe allergy, and that's what they told her, that if she eats that, she'll never be able to see her again, and she was really upset by that.
Bella was?
Yeah.
And so if Cece ate coconut, she would potentially die?
I know she has a tree nut allergy, but I never heard coconut, so I wonder if they just, I don't know if she got coconut.
So Cece has a tree nut allergy?
Yeah, like a severe one.
Okay. So you watched the children, He leaves about, you get there at 4:30, what time do you think he leaves?
Probably 4:45 after we've like gone through everything, and he orders the pizza for us.
Where was the pizza from?
Papa John's, I think.
Okay, and he leaves about 4:45, you didn't see who he left with?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you watch the kids, any phone calls, do you see anything out of place at the house? Is anything weird?
It seemed normal, they all were acting normal, the kids were having fun, the house seemed fine.
Okay, and you put the girls down at 7?
Yeah.
And then what time does Chris come back?
Around 10:30.
Anybody else in the house while you're there? Just you and the 2 girls?
Yeah, my mom was waiting outside to pick me up because he told me 10, so my mom came at 10, but when he came home he said he had gotten stuck in some traffic, which was understandable.
Okay. And your mom was there to pick you up?
Yeah, she was waiting outside the house in her car.
She just waited in her car?
Yeah.
He gets home at 10:30, and he was at the Rockies game, right?
Yes.
That's where he said he was going?
Yes.
Did he mention anything that happened, or?
He just gave me the money and I left.
He didn't tell you? He said he got stuck in traffic?
Yeah.
Was he wearing the same clothing?
Yes.
And you didn't ever see who he came back with?
No, my mom saw him come home, so
Your mom did?
I bet if you ask her.
They had the laughs of angels, and they had the hearts of angels, and the souls of angels. And I can't believe that they're gone.